Hi, it's Gary. Welcome to today's video. Today, it's First Impressions Day. My first impressions of this. This is the Wing Sung 630 and it's the cigar shape. And this was generously sent to me by a viewer. Very much appreciated. Thank you very much. What we're going to do, we'll walk through the body, do some size comparisons. We'll fill it with ink, do a writing sample, then I'll give you my first impressions of this pen. Welcome down to the table. Here we've got the Wing Sung 630. This is the cigar-shaped model. There is a flat-ended model as well. A big thank you to the viewer that sent this in. I very much appreciate that. So this is a nice dark purple colour. I do like this is purple. I think it'll go nice with some of my purple inks. Let's start by having a walk through the body. Starting at the top, so we've got the domed top. That's quite big there, coming down, tapering out. Then we've got this gold coloured ring with the clip attached. There's the clip, nice shape to that. The clip, nice and springy, easy to pull away there. The cap is tapering out, I would say till maybe 3/4 of the way down the clip. Then that's where it feels like it's going straight. And we're going straight down to this ring. On here, we've got Jun Lai 630. Made in China. Quite nice that. Quite nice. Like, just to hold this up, see if we can get the colour to come through. This is the problem when it's a bit low. The colour doesn't come through as well. There we go. Nice colour there. Below that metal band, we've got a drop off, and then we've got a sharp drop down to the body. The body, to my eye, actually looks like it's doming out a little tiny bit. Then it tapers in. We've got another gold coloured ring, and then we've got this long end here for the end cap. Very nice. The cap takes half, about 1.5 turns to come off. First thing we see, an ink window. This is a piston filling pen. I do like that idea. So let's just work the mechanism. Can we see the piston come down? There we go. There's the piston coming down into the window. Nice wide ink window there. Going to be really useful. We've then got the section. The section is in the same colour as the body, so it all matches. We've got this nice flow through. Looks like there's a slight concaveness. Then we've got a little tiny lip. Taking the cap off the rest of the way, that reveals this number 6 size nib. Nice big looking nib. Really suits this pen. The nib, two-tone, so it's primarily the gold colour. Then we've got a silver coloured band. Underneath the breather hole, we've got 1947, we've got the Wing Sung logo, and then wings. No mention on here as to the nib size, although this is a fine nib. All in all, I think it's quite a nice looking pen. I really quite like the classic look and the classic shape. Let's swap over and do some size comparisons. I brought in my two standards, Pilot Metropolitan, Lamy Safari. The Wing Sung 630, longer than both of those. Let's pop the caps off. With the caps off, doesn't the nib on that 630 look like a beast of a nib compared to the other two? I know the other two, they are fairly small nibs. Width-wise, the 630 definitely wider than both the other pens, and we're still slightly longer. In the hand, it feels nice and comfortable. I do like that there's a bit of width here in the section, so it's not thin like some of my other pens. I do like the girthier sections because I find that they fit a lot easier and nicer in my hands. And my hands are, they're fairly large hands. Does it post? It sort of does. It'll fit on, but it doesn't really post very well. Very, very loose there. That's how easy the cap is to fly off. So you could try posting it, but you'd have to press quite hard, and then it still easily comes off. Let's get this out of the way. We'll fetch in today's ink. Today's ink, I thought I'd go for a Diamine ink, and I thought I'd go for Mulled Wine. I think it would be a nice match to this body. There we go, this is a standard ink. It's also a nice wide bottle. Because this is a wider section, it's still going to fit in there, so I can fill it straight from the bottle. So the pen's been cleaned out. I always clean out my pens before I use them for the first time, just to get rid of any excess ink. And the plunger, that's all the way down to the bottom. So let's put the ink in. Fortunately, not very exciting watching this, is it? So that's the plunger going back up. I'll send it back down, and then we'll go back up again. Just give that, there we go. Looks like by the ink window we've got some ink in there. Just going to clean this off. I'll pop it back together. Then we'll fetch in the notepad of testing. Just dropping in to interrupt your regular programming. Would you like to help support the channel? If so, please consider joining as a member. As a member, you'll get early access to my videos. I normally upload them a couple of days before they go out, and as soon as they're uploaded, they'll be released to members. There'll also be a shout out at the end of the videos, and then as we get the members coming in, we'll actually chat among ourselves and work out what other perks, what other things you'd like me to add in. You know, would you like maybe a monthly live chat just for members? All down to us. So please, if you can, consider joining the channel. A link will be in the description down below. Here we've got the notepad of testing. This is an Oxford Optic Paper notepad. It's made by Black and Red and it's A5. Let's fetch in the pen. So here we've got the pen. So let's see how this writes. So we've got a Wingsung. A little bit of an issue there. That could have been me there. Wingsung 630. This is quite a generous line for a fine nib. Price for this pen, 46 Aussie dollars on AliExpress. The ink by Diamine, and it's Mulled Wine. I actually like this colour. I think that's a really good match. This could be an ink that I use in this pen all the time because it's flowing well and it looks quite nice together. And we are seeing some shading already. Drying times, so we go immediate, 10 seconds, 30 seconds. Looks really wet, doesn't it? Going to go to the next line for 1 minute. Starting to dry at least. We'll do a 2-minute test. Two minutes, it's still smudging. I'm not going to test any longer, but this is a very, very wet combo. That's something I need to be aware of when I'm using this pen. So if I'm taking notes, I need to be in a book where I don't need to be turning the pages over quite frequently. I need to give it a chance to dry. I also need to make sure I've got some nice blotting paper around. Line variation. So here's with no pressure. Going to add a bit of pressure. There we go. So the first time I did it, I got nothing, but then I am getting a nice wider line. The nib does feel quite soft. So no pressure with, none with, none with. So I am seeing a slightly wider line there. Let's move the mic and write a sentence. That's nice, that's enjoyable. There's a nice tactileness to it. It's got a little bit of softness. And as I'm writing, with the natural pressure changes that happen as I'm writing, I am seeing some character come out in the line, which is really nice. Do see a little bit of shading, but the ink's still wet, so it'd be interesting to see what that's like in maybe 10 minutes time when it's had a proper chance to dry. But yeah, it looks quite nice. Flow test. So this is going forward. Can you hear that feedback? I don't know if it's coming over the mic now. Very nice audible noise that you get when you're writing with this. I'm really enjoying it. exceptionally nice writer. Combo is wet, that's something I've got to bear in mind. So what are my thoughts and my first impressions of this combo? I've put the pen below the writing. Normally I put it on top of the writing because it's so wet. You know, some of this ink is still going to be wet. It's still going to smudge. Love the shape. It's beautiful. Nice, long, nice, wide pen. Very, very comfortable in the hand. I actually quite like the colour. That's nice dark purple. Really is. It's something you could take to a business meeting, but it's something a bit unusual. It's not that black pen that you would expect to see when you're using a fountain pen in a business meeting. I like the way the ink works. I like the line it puts down. Bit concerned it's going to be very wet, so maybe I may have to think about changing the ink. I'd love to use this mulled wine, but I don't know. Could just take too long to dry when I'm making notes. But as long as I've got blotting paper, I think I'll get away with it. Nice feedback, nice tactileness to it. All in all, a very nice pen, a very nice writing pen. A pen I can see me enjoying using for years to come because it's just got everything I need. It's got the size, it's got the width. Yes, I know it's a fine nib, but to me, it writes more like a medium. It's a very generous one, especially with this wet ink. So that's where I say I need to play around with the inks to see what it's like with some other inks. A very big thank you to the person that sent this. It was sent to me and very much appreciate that. Really nice, enjoyable pen. Looking forward to using it. So they're my first impressions of the Wingsung 630 with Diamine Mulled Wine. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Have you got a Wingsung 630? Have you got in the cigar shape or have you got in the flat top shape? I like the idea that you've got a choice of shapes. I think that's really interesting and a new way of doing things. Very nice looking pen though. Really do like this dark purple colour. Please drop any comments down below. Let's kickstart the conversation. Please hit the thumbs up button. Every time you like, every time you comment, just helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so that you can get new videos as I release them. I'll talk to you again soon.